For the case of the floods, I even convened a whole cabinet meeting to just respond to that matter of floods. 3 cabinet meetings. My minister was on the ground. I was myself in Kiamaiko, in person. I came there in Kiamaiko. And for the first time, my brother, for the first time, normally when people are removed from places, they are brutalized. They are removed and nobody cares about where they go. Nobody cares about what happens to them. For the first time in the history of Kenya, I made sure that every Kenyan who was living in the riparian reserve was given money for alternative accommodation. We paid every Kenyan who left that place 10,000 shillings to be able to relocate away from the danger of the floods that were on the river. I mean, it was the best that I could do in that circumstance. And I promised them that under our housing program, because we now have their list, under our housing program, we are going to consider them the first beneficiaries of our social housing program. I made that commitment in public. If you ask our peers for housing, they already have the data on these Kenyans who were removed from the riparian reserve, who had to be relocated and relocated for their own safety. For your information, we lost many Kenyans who were sleeping there, but they were carried by the floods. And it was the best thing that I could do. I went there in person. My minister was there consistently. I had 3 different cabinet meetings to attend the issue. We committed close to 400 million to make sure that those Kenyans who were in that situation were attended to. Maybe it wasn't enough. Maybe I should have done more. Maybe then I should apologize for not doing more. But to the best of my ability, it is the first time the government of Kenya is providing money to relocate people who have been affected in situations like the one in the flood.
Okay, Mr. President, on the issue of Githurai, you said there was only 1 casualty, which is a lie. Mr. President, nakwambia tu kweli. Githurai inasemekana there are more than 200 people who were shot dead. Some wengine hata hawajulikani mahali wako saizi, vile tunaongea ukweli saizi. In Rongai, they shot some guys pia, wakakuficha wakakwambia ni mtu mmoja. Na ni ukweli, reality kwa ground watu walikuwa wanauliwa. Ina ni ukweli watu walikuwa wanauliwa. Tulikuwa huko, wote tulikuwa maandamano. Alafu kuna issue nyingine. This rogue cop amekuwa kichapa watu risasi, anachapa watu risasi open air, kila mtu ana camera there. The DCI doesn't do anything about it. Amekuwa all over social media, in the media, but you don't even say a word about him. His name is Murangiri. That killer cop ameua watu. Watu wanazikwa kila siku sababu yake. Juzi ilikuwa last week Wednesday nilikuwa town. Nilimwona akitembea tu town vizuri along Moi Avenue, very happy, very healthy. He's a killer cop. Nothing has been done to him. Hivi tu tumekuwa complaint au kitambo. For how long should we be talking about this? About the killer cops?
Sorry.
You can go ahead, Mr. President.
My good brother, you know, it is good to be brutally honest. And I will not, as president, or even as a Kenyan, ever say anything that is not factual, especially on a very serious matter of people losing lives.
Yeah.
Are you saying 200 people were killed in Githurai? Really? I mean, my friend, I mean, where are can the family step forward? People who are saying our members of our family are missing. They went to Mandamano or they went to picket and they did not come back. 200 people is not a joke, my friend. So I really want to plead with you. I am sorry to tell you, you have wrong numbers. I'm sorry to tell you that. It is
Mr.
not
President,
possible.
we even have the names. It's all over social media. Hata sisi tunaweza post, tunaweza soma hizo
What about
majina
social media?
zetu.
I want to offer
We have
you.
the names,
I want to
even the
offer you.
faces. We have the faces
Tomorrow,
and the
I
names.
want to offer you to bring the names and family members of the people who are saying their loved ones are not there. Don't even take them anywhere. Bring them to State House. Them family members who are saying, I have lost so and so. My fellow, a member of my family was there on Monday last week. He went to Mandamano and he didn't come back. And where possibly are the bodies? You know. So I mean, really, my good friend, it is just good to be. You know, we are dealing with a very serious issue. Please let us not use information that is not verified. It just helps to create a situation that is not correct.
Mr. President, I have another question too. Kindiki yesterday.
Otero, tupatie wengine nafasi, at least you're a co-host.
Ya mwisho alafu nimuulize alafu ni ad mwingine. Mr. President, jana Kindiki alisema guys were being arrested, not abducted. When a guy is arrested, it means the area police station or the area OCS or CPD is aware. When I was arrested, Parkland's deputy OCPD was not aware, meaning these abductions are very illegal, right?
Let me say the following on matters of abduction. You know, first, let us agree first that the era of extrajudicial killing is no longer with us. There is a new problem called abduction. And it is something that I am going to exercise my mind on because the police have clear rules of how to arrest citizens if they have to arrest citizens. There is a clearly stipulated procedure on how that is done. And if anything is done outside the procedure, then it is illegal and it is punishable. So when the police arrest somebody, they must declare to that person that they are policemen, they are arresting this person for this and that and that and that, and they take him to a place that is known. So that is a matter that I will take up and I will deal with it.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. President. Otero, tuko na wewe bado utauliza maswali, naona umeanza wewe ni Otero, so unaamua vile utafanya, but patia watu wengine chance. We'll take 3 people, 3 at a time faster. We have I'll bring in Alai, followed by Edith, followed by Gray, and then you can give Wakili after that 4. So again,
Hussein, I really don't think Alai should speak because his comments will be biased. This space is basically about what we are going through in the street. Alai doesn't know about it. In short, Alai amekuwa kiongea mbaya kwa hili story ya maandamano. I really don't think
Alai can speak for himself. We can't limit anybody from speaking. Everybody has the freedom to speak here.
No, Alai is very bad.
So
thank you.
Let's have
Mara can speak, but Alai, no, he hasn't been against this.
Thank you. Otero, I've been an advocate of freedoms for a very long time, especially when we don't agree. So I would ask you to learn that lesson that you should listen to people, especially when they don't agree with you. And that's what the president is trying to do here. We don't agree with him, and that's why we want him to listen to us, and he agreed to come to the space. And moving forward, I really want to tell the president that, Mr. President, you know that your success is our success, and we really want you to succeed. The problem is that I don't know if you really want yourself to succeed as a president of Kenya. Because from the moment you got to be the president, there are things you did which I think just sabotage your presidency. When you decided to say that you are not going to listen to intern doctors, I said, does the president know what he's doing? because he's touching the hearts of Kenyans. These are the people who spend most of their time in public hospitals. When the president didn't take up the matter of pending bills and tell the counties and the national government to pay the pending bills, you know that one is touching the middle class, the working class. And these are the people who mobilize their children, called Gen Zs. And they came out and said no. When you removed Linda Jamii, when we interfered with Edu Afia, when we saw your friends and very close associates working with bands of money, 10, 20 million in churches, Mr. President, I think you sabotage your own presidency. And that's why I ask myself that the president really tells us that he means well for the country. But is he really meaning well for himself? Because unless somebody else is the president who is doing all these things, the second and last question, because I don't want to spend more time, I'm an elected official in Nairobi, Mr. President, is the issue of Nairobi on-source revenue, which we have asked, we have investigated, we have been taken round. Mara, it was KRA which is collecting that money. We have taken to office of the president. Finally, we were told that it's being collected in State House by some agency. We can't get, I'm the vice chairman of ICT in Nairobi City County Assembly. But nobody knows who is collecting revenue for Nairobi City County, Mr. President. It really saddens me because if that revenue was collected in a transparent and verifiable manner, then you know, Mr. President, some of these bills would be taken up by the counties and it will not come to you in the national government so as to pay those bills, Mr. President. Those are the only questions which I had. Thank you.
Thank you, Alai. Edith?
Yeah, thank you for the chance to ask a question.
Edith,
Hello.
are you with us? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, let's go to Gray if Edith is not responding.
Hello.
All right, thank you so much.
Hello.
Hussein, this is Grayson. Hussein, can you hear me? Otero unanisikia?
I can hear Eddie and I can hear the other gentleman.
I'd like to ask my
All right,
question if you can all hear me.
Okay, let's have one person speak. Gray, speak.
All right, thank you so much, Hussein. Edith, I'm sorry. So, Your Excellency, my name is Grayson Marwa. My question to you is one, and my question is on this very, very emotive and very, topic that we love talking about as a country, which is corruption. I know you stand on corruption. You have spoken about it many times. You don't condone corruption. You don't want corruption to happen in your government. But then I want to point out something. Recently, there was a scandal, with the fertilizer, and the CS was, impeached, or a motion was tabled in the National Assembly by a member of parliament for him to be impeached. But what happened later is that, the same members of parliament from your political party, the UDO party, went ahead and saved this particular cabinet secretary. What does that speak, to your stand regarding corruption? Do you support corruption on one hand, but on the other hand, because he is your CS, these are your members of parliament, they go ahead and flop that motion that was supposed to impeach this particular cabinet secretary? My last question, as a young person, there is a challenge of jobs in this country. But a month ago or so, in the day list, there was a freeze that the public service is not hiring anymore. What are you trying to tell young people? Yet you say each and every day you want to ensure that we give jobs to these young people who go to school but don't have jobs out here. People are, forced to do things that they shouldn't be doing and they went through the education system. If I can get a response to those two issues, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you.
Grayson,
Do I
unaweza rudia question?
Do I answer those, or I thought we said we take three people? Can we take maybe Eddie? Eddie was somewhere. There is a lady called Eddie was somewhere or something.
Edith Kimani.
Otero, from my end, I see she's a listener. Maybe you can add her to speak from what I'm able to see on my end.
Okay.
As we wait for the engagement, can I proceed and answer?
Yes, please.
Thank you very much. Alai has mentioned three things. Mr. Alai, I want to tell you, Mheshimiwa, that I am acutely clear that even if I don't succeed, I want Kenya to succeed. The one thing that I am very clear about is what do we do to change the status of many Kenyans? Intern doctors. There was a long conversation with intern doctors. I made sure that they were attended to. I met the leadership of the intern doctors myself, finally, and we did make an agreement on how to sort out the intern doctor situation, including I have factored in this budget with their concurrence. When I agreed with them, we were supposed to sort out their arrears in 3 years. I offered to sort them out in 1 year after I engaged